What is good, YouTube? Hope we're all doing well. Coming at you with a completely different video than I've ever created before, and in fact, completely different to a lot of the things that I've seen online in terms of the way that people design videos. Now, obviously, you guys will know that I have been running this channel now for the past sort of 2.5 months, and obviously, it's been like lots of vloggy style stuff. We've done like some training stuff, some food stuff. We've been out for several meals. I wanted this one to be a lot more talking about the process and essentially let you guys into a bit of an insight into how I'm going to build the most muscle that I've ever had. So it could be a pretty exciting video. If you're currently somebody that would like to build more muscle, that would like to get stronger, that would like to understand a bit more of the process of how you can achieve fucking awesome results. I'm not saying that I am, but basically what I'm trying to say is this is going to be a little bit of an insight into how you can potentially level up your own process. So at the moment, you guys may or may not know that I'm currently running through a chest and delt specialization block. And I've been running through this with my coach Christian now for the past 8 weeks, I want to say. We basically decided after my photo shoot that that was an area that we wanted to bring up. And, you know, these are sort of my current progress photos around 8 weeks into the process of doing that. So if we compare, obviously, our body composition here from sort of where we're at, if you look at like my Instagram photos from like the photo shoots and things like this, definitely noticing that I'm getting a lot more fullness. Of course, I would have a lot more fullness because my food's a lot fucking higher, but I'm also getting a lot more fullness in like the delts, the chest and things like this, which is exactly what we want right now because my my sort of chest and delts has primarily been a slightly weaker body part or a slightly weaker area for me. Now, one thing that we do need to understand is that when you are pushing up your body weight, you do have to look worse before you look better. So there's going to be photos that you look at when you are pushing that body weight higher that you're not particularly happy with. You know, it would be easy for me to look at this photo and be like, oh, you know, I want more arms, I want more legs, I want more this, I want more that, da 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 da. But we need to understand that a lot of your muscle is going to be masked by body fat as you are pushing your body weight up. And you need to be okay with that because I see far too many people completely, you know, fucking their long-term progress just because they're not okay with pushing their body weight up a little bit more aggressively. So if I give an example of sort of where I was at, let's go back. So I believe week 9 would have been our photo shoot. So just before the photo shoot, we did our photo shoot sort of mid-May. So as we were leading up towards the photo shoot, I was seeing some pretty big drops down in my body weight. And this is why it's important to work alongside a coach because people have said to me, and I'm okay with this, they're like, oh, you know, you're a coach, surely you know how to diet, you know how to gain muscle, you know how to do this and this and this. I cannot explain to you enough the value of having somebody in your corner that understands the process you're going through, that can take an sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, an unemotional view and an unemotional eye on your process and just take the stress away. Could I prep by myself? Probably. Would I have got the same level of results? Probably not. You know, all the best coaches and all the best athletes on the planet all have coaches. Footballers all have coaches. You know, the best bodybuilders you'll ever meet all have coaches. You know, just because you've got knowledge and just because you've got experience doesn't mean that you know everything. And understanding that you don't know everything and hiring somebody that knows more or is further ahead in their journey than what you are is invaluable. So anyway, off the back end of prep, I believe the low body weight I weighed in at was 169.8. Obviously, you can see here that I wasn't recording all of my variables leading up to the photo shoot because I was talking to my coach every single day. And if you're in a prep, if you're doing like a competition or a photo shoot, you should be doing the same with your coach. Off the back of that, I did see the day afterwards. So this was me like turbo depleted. I had like literally nothing in me at all. I was like super flat. And then I had a massive jump up, which was, if you go back to my video where I went to Red Dog Saloon or Salon or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the jump up from here to here was literally 1 day worth of food. And it'll be like, oh my God, I've undone lots of progress. But that's not how the human body works. Like that would have been a hell of a lot of food in my digestive tract, a hell of a lot of sodium, a hell of a lot of calories. You know, from this day to this day, I mean, I dread to think how many calories I had. It probably would have been like, I don't know, something stupid like 5,000 or 6,000. So obviously my body weight's going to jump up. But since then, body weight sort of came back down a little bit just because of, you know, I actually just ate like a normal human being again, but it was all about sort of managing fatigue. Now, if we go from week 10, which is when I finished my sort of diet, through these weeks, had holiday, all-inclusive holiday, keep going. I'm currently up at, this was sort of my most recent numbers, at 184 pounds. So, you know, I've sort of gained over the last sort of 10 weeks a good 13, 14 pounds. Now, some people can argue that that rate of gain is too fast. I would argue when you're coming off the back of a very aggressive dieting phase, you want to push things fairly aggressively to get your body hormonally into a much better spot. I can honestly hand on heart say, guys, if you're someone that's looking to get shredded, and I don't mean lean, I mean shredded. I'm talking like, very low body fat percentage, striations all over your body, pushing cardio steps, everything as hard as you can. That initial jump, I really do think that there's a lot to be benefited from actually just allowing your body weight to jump a good few pounds straight away. Like when I say a good few pounds, I'm talking like getting 5, 6, 7 pounds on ASAP. And then from there, things have only continued to improve. Training's improving, energy's improving, digestion's improving. I'm getting better pumps. I'm filling out, like things are heading in the right direction. So what we've done is, obviously these are the forms that Christian uses. I'm not going to show you like the whole thing, so I don't think it's important. But what we've done is, if I go back to my training block, we were running sort of like an upper lower split. This is still technically an upper lower split, but the way that we do it is we do chest and upper on a Monday, delts and lower on a Tuesday. We then do chest and upper on a Wednesday. I've sort of tweaked this around. Chest and upper on a Wednesday. We then take Thursday off. We do delts and lower on a Friday, and then chest and upper on a Saturday. So with our volume split, obviously if you're looking to bring up a particular muscle group, you want to be placing more volume into that particular muscle group. So chest is 15 sets a week. Back is all the way back at 9. Delts is 15 sets per week. Quads at 9, hams at 9, biceps at 9, triceps at 9, calves at 9. So for me, you can obviously see right there that I've got 6 more sets of any other muscle group with my chest and with my delts. And that's allowing them to come up a lot more than any of my other muscle groups are. In terms of the intricacies of what I'm actually doing, I'm a firm believer that there wouldn't be a ton of value in me saying, right, I do this and this and this and this and this, because my program will be completely different to your guys. But to give you an understanding of what it would look like, we're starting a lot of our sessions with isolation movements, just to get lots of sort of blood in and around the area. So for example, at the start of the week, we've got a narrow cable stack flat press, cuffed at the elbow to get lots of blood into the mid chest, then moving into like an incline press. And then every upper body day, which we're running 3 days a week, we've only got like one back movement. So for now, my sort of mid back, traps, lats, etc. Is almost going to be sort of in a position whereby it's still growing, but at a much slower rate than everything else, to allow my chest and my delts to catch up. And then we sort of finish in those sessions with sort of, side laterals, press, push downs, curls, etc. With my leg training sessions, what we're doing is we're sort of tagging on delts to the start of the session, because when you're training side delts and rear delts, you're going to have a very low amount of systemic fatigue when you're training that particular exercise. So if you're someone that's looking to bring up a particular muscle group, consider the amount of fatigue that's going to be placed into that. If for example, I want to bring up my chest and delts, and I'm doing like a really big leg session, then going, right, let me tag that onto the end, it's not going to get the same level of attention. It's the same as if you're really looking to like blow up your arms and focus on that. You'd probably want to put arms into other sessions during your week and not always have them as like a tag on at the end of the week. But essentially, that's like a little bit of an overview of what we're doing. Again, this isn't going to be the video where I'm going like really, really deep on all the exact exercises, but that hopefully gives you guys a bit of an understanding of how that's going to be working. And in terms of sort of what we're doing with nutrition, we've got sort of like training day nutrition and non-training day nutrition. But the way that it works is we are essentially just sort of riding through things. And at the moment, as and when we feel like we need to add a little bit more food, we will do that. And what we'll do is we'll sort of have like a base meal plan that we work off. And then if we want to add a little bit more variety into our plan, then, I can, let's say I've got a meal that has to be 75 grams of carbs, I'll just swap something out for that. So I hope this gives you guys a little bit more of an overview of sort of like what I'm currently looking to do. I've been asked like quite a few questions of, what's the next goal? What are you doing? What's your goal? Etc. etc. Right now, it's just a case of getting stronger, progressively eating more, pushing up my weights in the gym, and just seeing how far I can take things. There's no set timeline. There's no set body weight. There's no like, I'm not saying, right, we're currently sat in August and by December or January I need to be this set weight. We're just simply eating in a progressive manner and trying to get as strong as we possibly can. In terms of my long-term goals right now are going to be for myself to look to step on stage next year. If next year isn't realistic for me, which I'll only sort of find out as I continue to sort of do the necessary and sort of tick the boxes. If we get to say April or May or June and we're not in a position where we feel like we've built enough muscle and we've built enough of a base to step on stage, then we won't step on stage. It's as simple as that. I think it's great to have an idea of like a timeline, an idea of goals, but we also need to be realistic with that. And right now, the best results I think I'm able to achieve is when I simply enjoy the day-to-day tasks, I enjoy the process, I eat meals I like, I train in a fashion that I like, and I just focus on getting better every single day. And that's something that Christian's really helped me do, because I'm certainly someone that is massive on goal setting. I'm somebody that likes to set myself big targets, but what Christian's allowed me to do is to sort of take a little bit of a step back and understand that we don't have to rush a process. If we can focus on enjoying it, then we're going to achieve some pretty incredible results from doing so. So guys, let me know in the comments down below if this sort of video and this sort of style was something that could be helpful for you. Let me know if you'd like to know a little bit more insight into the foods I'm eating, the way I'm training, the way that everything's set up. But right now, you know, we're sort of around about 10 weeks post photo shoot. We're around 14 pounds up, again, with that initial big jump up. And in terms of like the long-term vision for us right now, we're going to continue running with a chest and delt specialization block because it's what my body needs. We're training 5 days a week. Training day nutrition, non-training day nutrition, you know, calories on a training day. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can break down macros, but to give you a rough idea, on a training day, I'm eating around 3,002, and on a non-training day, I'm eating around 2,009. So we've got a hell of a long way that we can continue to push up with food. But that's what we're currently running with. Like I said, anything you want to know, drop it in the comments and I'll take you guys through from there. But expect to see a few more of these updates on my YouTube just so that you guys get a bit of an understanding of the process I'm going through. Have an awesome day, guys. Take care. I love you all very much and speak to you soon.